Welcome, my name is Isaiah, and I am so excited to have you here with me. Nothing better tells me that you want to learn how to play than the fact that you're here on this page right now watching this video. So I don't want to take too much time from your plate. I want to jump right into it. Just to give you a little bit, of an idea of what's going to be happening is we're going to be going from all the keys, starting from C all the way to B, and then we'll be diving into songs as we're going along. And obviously this is for those who are beginners. You can always join us later on if you want to join us in between. Maybe I'll be dropping some nuggets here and there on certain songs, but for the beginning of the class is just mainly going to be going over the basics, going over what it is, the notes, what are the chords, the basic chords, and then later on we'll be adding more complex things. We'll also be talking about, click tracks, playing with a band, having to do key bass on your left hand while still playing chords on your right hand, and all those kinds of things. So, without further ado, let's just dive right in. So, if this is your first time playing piano, you'll notice one very interesting thing, and is that there's many keys on here. For example, this piano that I have in front of me, as well as the piano you can see on your screen, has 88 keys. And that might sound very intimidating, but the good thing is that these keys really repeat themselves. What really changes is from going from this note to this note to this note to this note to this note. They're all the same note. They're all the note of C. That's the same note throughout the whole piano. What changes is the octave, and as you get more into songs and as we start talking more about, playing melodies and stuff, yes, those notes will matter. Like the song Happy Birthday, if you stay on the same note, even though it goes Happy Birthday, Happy Birthday. If you don't do this jump, Happy Birthday. Literally those two notes are the same. But if you don't play the right one, then it'll sound like Happy Birthday. And that's not really the melody. So that's why we have so many of the same keys. Don't feel intimidated. There's really only 12 keys that you have to worry about. And then we go back to the same key. So there's white keys, there's black keys on the piano. The easiest way to tell what notes are where is by using the black keys. There's less of them, and they're kind of grouped into pairs of 2s and 3s. And that'll really help you know what key you're on or what key it is that you're dealing with. Also, as we get more advanced, you'll realize that some keys have more, some families of keys have more black notes than other, and that'll kind of help you to know, okay, this is the key I'm on. So if you look at this section that has 2 black keys, and they're all over the piano, the key that starts, or the note that starts right before that, is C. And C is going to be the first note we're going to tackle as we get into our first set of songs and our first chord family, because it is the easiest of the keys. They're all white keys. You can't go wrong with that. But the easiest way to know where your C is, you find the 2, that's C. These 2, that's C. That right here is not C, because there's actually 3 together. But if you find the ones that only have 2 together, you have C there. Much like the American alphabet, you'll realize that our system kind of goes along with our alphabet. So from C, which is the beginning of the 2, the next note is D. And that's in the middle of those 2 black keys. And you go to E, which is at the end of that. And then you have the section of 3 black keys, and that starts with F. Then you go to G, you go to A, you go to B, and then you go back to C. And that's it. You go from A to G, but you start from C, and that's it. So if you wanted to start from A, it would sound A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So A to G, and then you start all over. Now, you do have the black keys, and I'm sure you're wondering, well, what do you name the black keys? Because the white keys all have names, and you use the black keys to kind of guide you to that. Well, one way I like to look at the black keys to make it easier, because as you can see, we do have them, and they are also notes. You have, those are 7 notes right there, and I did say we have 12 in total, so these are the other 5. So the way I like to look at them, and the way you can kind of remember their name, is if you live in a place like, I'm from Miami, Florida. So a lot of times we have a street, we'll have, some kind of terrace and another street. Or we'll have an avenue, court, and an avenue. You can see the black keys as that, middleman, that avenue, that court. You can see the black keys as the court, you can see the black keys as terrace, and they'll have the same name as the street there before. It does get a little tricky because if you're going backwards, then they can also have the name. Like all the keys, all the black keys have typically two names, and some of the white ones do too. But we're not gonna get into that and complicate things. But for example, this is C because obviously it's at the beginning of the two. For example, this is C, which is at the beginning of the section of two. So what you would do then is, if this is C, you're not gonna go to D, but you're gonna kind of go halfway there. So then this becomes C sharp, because it's still C, but we're just gonna bring it up a bit and makes it sharp. And the same thing will go on, to the other one. So you're at D, you go to D sharp, and then you go to E. And sharp kind of goes up, and then there is a name for going backwards, but we'll keep going from here. E does not have a sharp. As you can see, there's no black key in between E and F. It just jumps right to F. And then from F, you do have a black one right on top, so that's F sharp. And you have G, G sharp, A sharp, B, and you're back at C, and you can keep repeating that as you go. And you can keep repeating that all day long. The same way you name them because of the note that's before them, you can also name them because of the note that's in front of them. But then they will be called flats. So a sharp goes up, a flat goes down. So if this is C sharp, the note that's after this is D. So then this is D flat. And the same thing here, you have E. If you go back half a step, you have E flat. And the same thing, G flat, A flat, B flat. And a lot of times you will see this note right here considered B flat. Even though it is an A sharp, if I'm ever referring to anybody about this note, regardless of what key I'm on, I'm probably going to say B flat. It's probably not the right way to do it, but it's more commonly used as flat. Actually, a lot of the black ones are normally known as flats. My pastor sometimes is asking me, what key are you on? And I'm like, oh, D flat, rather than saying C sharp. I don't know. It sounds better. So I'm not expecting you to become the next virtuoso. We're not looking to make you, the next Beethoven. But I want you to be able to play as part of your band. I want you to be able to be one with the band. I want you to be able to groove and just have fun. Not be so technical and making sure you always have the right fingering and always have the right this and the right that. Just have fun. But I want you to know the basics so that way you're not found somewhere, where you somebody tells you, hey, we're on A flat, and you're like, I don't know where A flat is. Like, where, is it this? Is it this? A flat, I want you to know all your scales so that when you're playing somewhere and they tell you to solo, it doesn't have to be a crazy solo. I'm one that doesn't do crazy solos, but knowing your scale will let you get through. If you're just trying to... something of an idea like that. But if you know the scale you're on, then you already have a shoe in to be able to, kind of play along with the song and do different things. So do come back with us next week. It is going to be a great lesson. It's about 25 minutes long, and make sure, you bring pen and paper with you, or if you just want to, record it, it's fine. But just come ready. We're going to have lots of fun, and we're going to learn a lot, and just want to bless you all. Thank you.